will really require that we think differently about ourselves and about our tools. Cyber is called out as a separate mission for Homeland Security. But in order for us to create a safe and secure cyber environment, we have to define cyber's strategic space. And here I see two very important shaping trends that are conditioning our understanding and access to the strategic space within which cyber operates. And the first trend is this trend of technology. Perhaps not what you might expect, but the anthropologists tell us technology is putting tools within our grasp. And the current trend is that technology is exceeding our grasp. It is way far out in front of society's ability to understand, adapt, and adjust, some people say. I don't know if that's true, but we certainly feel as a society that we are lagging behind the frontiers of technology that you deal with every day. How long can we stand that? And what may be lagging even further behind, where our social sensibilities have located us at this moment, are our laws. Now we know that laws are always a lagging indicator. They're a rested judgment that society comes to when it confronts its problems. That's what the law reflects. It anticipates the familiar. But so much that's happening in technology is unfamiliar to so many of us. How long can we stand that? The second trend that I see is that there is a normative convergence emerging in the world. I've spent most of my life in the international field, foreign policy, international relations, war, conflict resolution, war termination. How do you rebuild a society after war has destroyed it? And I see very clearly a normative convergence emerging, not only within our own society, but around the world. And that normative convergence is centering around three things: expectations of transparency, expectations of inclusivity, and expectations of reciprocity. What are we going to do about those emergent norms? How can we adapt our uses of technology, which seem to be exceeding our grasp, when the whole definition of technology to begin with was defined as tools within your grasp? How do we craft a strategy that permits the fullest exploitation of technology while ensuring our safety? How have we historically ensured our safety? By location. Location was the dominant security strategy. No longer. You know, it's interesting. The state system was formed in 1648 so sovereigns could protect their citizens from marauding outsiders. And I've been many places around the world where citizens need the protection of outsiders from marauding sovereigns. Location is no longer your ticket to safety. In cyberspace, location may be irrelevant. In cyberspace, power has no beginning and no obvious end. It's hard to feel secure in what you know. It's hard to feel secure in where you are. It's hard to feel secure in who you are. So what is the purpose of cybersecurity? Create a safe, secure, resilient place where we can thrive. Secure our information and secure our identity. And promote the kind of awareness, innovation, and shared understanding that make us all better off. If we're going to achieve this, I think we have to depart from the romantic notion of cyberspace as the wild, wild west, or the scary notion of cyberspace as a combat zone. Yes, there is a new reality of security, of conflicts, and of relationships. In fact, there is a contest right now for the corner on the market in the three key areas that used to define the role of governments: the control of lethality, the control of capital, and the control of rulemaking. And that power is going somewhere. It's going into private hands. And these changes have been fueled by the expansion of the domain of cyberspace. So what is the core question? What will we do with this power in cyberspace? How will it be governed? What will the rules be? Will there be rules? There will be rules. There will be rules. Can we still hope to rely on trust in each other? Trust in our actions, in our intentions, in our effects? Cyberspace is being built on an insecure platform to begin with. And from a governance and, yes, a legal perspective, we're playing catch-up. The goal here is not control, it's confidence. We want to expedite the good while preventing, excluding, impeding the bad. It's not like the wild, wild west. It's not a jungle out there. There are no perfect metaphors. Some people speak about cyberspace as a global commons. I don't know. Cyberspace seems more to me like light rather than air. It's available to all of us. There are no perfect metaphors. There are no good historical analogies. We may live, as some say, in ahistorical times. I don't know. But some say we need to build now the ecosystem for the healthy enjoyment, the healthy use by all of us. Do we need a culture of preparedness in this environment? Do we need a culture of resilience? Do we need a culture of prevention? I've spent a lot of my life thinking and writing and being around conflict and war. And in 1994, I had the extraordinary privilege of associating with Dr. David Hamburg from Carnegie Corporation of New York at the time, and Cyrus Vance, former U.S. Secretary of State, and a group of individuals who were determined that we could do more to prevent the outbreak of mass violence, the spread, the renewal of mass violence once peace has been achieved. And we were going to do this by thinking about how we could create a preferred environment rather than just avoid bad alternatives. So if you want to prevent people from killing each other, we need to create capable societies. Societies that have representative governance, market economic activity, robust civil society based on the rule of law. If you want to prevent the spread of conflict, you need to create fire breaks. And if you want to prevent the renewal of violence once a peace has been achieved, you need to create space, physical and political space, so that peaceful efforts can succeed. The culture of prevention is one that builds on an affirmative vision of the future, creating a better place. We in the Department of Homeland Security want to stimulate a responsible debate about cyberspace. We want to participate in that debate. We want to debate on the rules of the road, about governance. How do we get it right? What is government's role here? What needs doing? In Homeland Security, we've been very busy in cybersecurity. We've identified the cyber mission as essential to building a safe, secure, resilient place where the American way of life can thrive. We've instituted a national cyber challenge because we believe education is important, it's essential. And all the good ideas out there have not even been thought of yet. We're developing a national cyber incident response plan that we'll test in the fall. We're deploying Einstein 2 throughout the .gov space, standing up NKIC, advancing a trusted identity strategy in cyberspace. We can find a way to secure ourselves. This country can be safe. We can protect our privacy and our rights. We can let open markets flourish. But we certainly in the department don't believe we have all the answers. It's always a drag when you meet somebody who already knows everything he's ever heard. That's not us. What will guide us? Will our expertise guide us? Will our experience guide us? Do we know the difference between our experience and our expertise? By the way, expertise is knowing the conditions under which your experience is relevant. Can we tell the difference? Do we have the courage to challenge the assumptions and explode the myths? I've talked about a few of the myths that I've experienced in my life about war. Billions of dollars have been spent in cyberspace, and as Jeff mentioned, yet none of the most fundamental problems of our experience in cyberspace have been fixed. You can't access, you can't surf, you can't transit, you can't shop, you can't talk securely. Fundamental problems. The administration is seeking to build a strategy to help ensure the cybersecurity of this nation. It's enormously exciting to get a challenge on this scale. It doesn't happen all the time in your life. It's exciting to be working with people who are at the cutting edge of their field and who recognize that we all have a role to play. And this is where you all come in. Help us not to be destined to tackle these largest questions with the most narrow approaches. Just as our Constitution diffuses power in order to concentrate this nation's strength, it will take the efforts of all of us to ensure the security of each of us. Now, I'm often asked, you've spent your whole career in national security and